Okay, baby, come here. Oh, she's not in the mood. Okay. All right, Lily, be that way. Hi, everybody. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing well and welcome. And please like and subscribe and comment. It helps my channel. Anyway, excuse me. I hope you're all doing well. Gotta have my coffee. And I hope your day is going well, or your evening, wherever you are. Anyway, I wanted to talk about a subject that a lot of people don't want to talk about. I am. And the reason I am is I'm finding that a lot of women are, or maybe men too, for that matter, not just women, but a lot of people are opting out of, they just don't want sex anymore. Bottom line, they just don't want it anymore. And it came into my mind because last night while I was lying in bed, watching Grace and Frankie with my doggies next to me, sound asleep, and I was nice and comfortable, I'm just going to be honest here, I was laying there thinking, how peaceful and wonderful is this? I would not want to be bothered for sex in any way, shape, or form. Yep, you heard it. I don't know about you guys, but I have reached a stage in my life where that's the least important thing in a relationship to me. If I were to meet a man, come on baby, if I were to meet a man, it would be, I'll be honest with you, I just don't have the desire. I don't know what it is. I couldn't care less. I couldn't care less if I never had sex again in my entire life. I just could not care less. I think back to, you know, the younger years when, yeah, you're just hot and bothered for everybody. For me personally, that's another reason that I think about what it would be like to have a man in my life again, living with me, that type of thing, or just having a man in general in my life. I don't want that anymore. I just don't. And I know there's a lot of men out there who will be like, oh, well then what's the point of being with you? Well, if that's the point of being with somebody, I don't know what to say. But I have reached a stage in my life where I couldn't care less about that. I'd be content to just be with a guy, to cuddle up on the couch, even cuddle up in bed and not have to think about that. I'm very serious, and the more I've read and the more I've seen in terms of videos of women who they're just done. They're just done with it. And I'm not talking just elderly women. I'm talking a lot of ages, different ages, where women are just like, I don't even want to deal with sex anymore. Just forget it. And I just can't help but, you know, wonder how many people are like that, men or women. It's just one of those things, guys, where just the thought of it is like, ugh. I mean, really, ugh. I know some people will say, well, yeah, but once you get with the right guy, that'll change your mind, this and that. I'm kind of the opposite. It's like, oh God, the thought of getting involved with a man and doing that again is a real turnoff to me. I'm sorry, I am being honest here. I'm not here to sugarcoat it and make it seem like, well, whatever. No, I literally am at the point in life where that just is not important to me. It's absolutely not. And there are a lot of fears too of, you know, you can still catch stuff. Doesn't matter how old you are, you can still catch something. And that's a worry. And yeah, people will say, well, use protection. Protection isn't 100%. So, yeah, that's on my mind too. I thought to myself, when I was laying there last night, I thought, I can't imagine being 70 years old and catching an STD. Oh, yeah, no, I can't. I can't even imagine that. I would probably be very happy with a man who's impotent and can't do that anymore. And I mean that seriously. That's a turnoff to me right now. It's an absolute turnoff to me. And I've watched some videos where women say the same thing, and they're of all ages. They're of all ages saying they're just turned off by sex completely, just turned off by it. And the other thing is, you know, casual sex. I can't imagine meeting a guy and having sex again. I mean, if it were to happen, it would have to be with somebody that I was either married to, if I got married again, or somebody that I was living with. And I mean that. I could not just be dating a man and have sex with him. Couldn't do it. I could not do that. Those days are long gone. Yeah, I just couldn't do it. I wouldn't want to feel used, for one thing. Now, I know there are people out there who they'll have sex just because they want sex. That's not me. To me, sex is a very emotional bonding between two people. Even more so for women, they found that women, when they have sex, it really bonds them to that man, really bonds them to that man emotionally. And I know the majority of men, it's different, where it's like, oh yeah, you know, I had a nice time, see you later. Slam, you know, what is it, wham bam, thank you ma'am, that type of thing with men. Well, women tend to become very attached to a man when they have sex, the majority of women. So yeah, I wouldn't want to go through that either. I wouldn't want to go through, you know, just dating somebody and having sex. No, thank you. That's just out of the picture completely for me. I have no desire for that. It can make you feel very used. You know, you think you've got this guy who really loves you or cares about you and has sex with you, and then he splits like that, and you're like, oh, I just got used. Yeah. Happens every day, all around the world. And I'm, no. No. I don't want that feeling. I don't want that feeling of, oh my gosh, I thought this guy really cared about me. Now he just breaks up with me. Well, yeah, you're going to feel used. You're going to feel like, oh, was that all I was to him? Some free sex, you know. No, thank you. I have no desire to have that in my head, you know. That's another thing about getting involved in a relationship with a man again. That I know that could create some problems. Obviously, create problems if a woman is like, I don't want any of that, and he's like, I do. Well, that's not going to work. And I'm wondering how many of you women out there are just done with it. Just whether you're married, single, whatever, in a relationship or living with somebody. Excuse me. Oh. How many of you women are just kind of done with that? That's like at the bottom of your list, you know. Literally at the bottom of your list. Come on. It's like, nah, that's the least important thing in my life. Now, I know that, you know, people who have lived together for a long time, whether it's through marriage or just living together, that sort of stuff starts to die off a little bit. It's like, oh, well, yeah, I think we did it last month, you know, that type of thing. It does. It kind of wears off in a lot of relationships. It's like, it's not what it was when you first meet and you're all hot and heavy for each other, you know. It changes over time. It just does. It's just natural. But I'm wondering how many of you you're just at a stage in life, whatever your age may be, whatever your situation may be, where you're like, I'm done with it. I really don't care about it anymore. I don't even want to think about having sex anymore. Yeah, it just... It was on my mind last night, because as I lay there so comfortably and peacefully, I thought, oh, if a man was bothering me right now for that, it would not go over well. I'd be like, get out of the room. Just go sleep in the other room. That's just the way I felt last night. And I don't have that. Like when I'm out and about and I see a handsome man my age, a good-looking man, I don't think of sex. I just think, oh, he's a really good-looking man. Be nice to go out with him, you know? Or he seems like a really nice man. Be nice to go out with him. That kind of thing. I'd like to have lunch with that man. You know, that type of thing. I don't sit there and look at him and think, ooh, baby. No. That's gone. Maybe it does have to do with my age. I don't know. But that is completely gone. It's like I see a good-looking man and I think, or I'm just attracted to him. Not necessarily some good-looking, hot-looking guy. Just somebody that I find attractive to me. And I think, oh, he looks like a nice guy. Be nice to know him or go out with him or whatever. Yeah, I don't look at a guy now and think of sex anymore. Those days for me, they're gone. How many of you are, is it gone for you too? How many of you are in that state of mind where it's like, I'd be happy to never have that again in my life? How many of you? Because I know you're out there. You may not have admitted it to anybody for whatever reason, but I know you're out there too. It's not just me, whether you're male or female. I'm not seeing a whole lot of men not wanting to do that because they're, let's face it, they're well known to want to do that all the time. But I wouldn't know about my age group because, to be honest with you, I haven't dated. I haven't dated since 2000, I think it was 8. It was 2000, or no, last time I went on a date was about 2012. And yeah, that it was a one date with 3 guys. That was it. I was done. And I haven't dated since then. And I don't have that desire. I don't have that desire to, oh, get with a guy, if you know what I mean. No, absolutely not. How many of you men out there feel that way, if there are any that you truly feel that way? That's the least important thing, that you're more interested in. I'm more interested in companionship. I am much more interested in a good old-fashioned companionship relationship. Where, yeah, we can cuddle and kiss and that type of stuff, you know, on the couch, whatever, and just be together and enjoy each other. But leading into that, no. I've lost it, guys. I have completely lost it. Don't miss it in any way, shape, or form. I mean, no way, shape, or form. And I wonder how many of you are in that same mindset, whether you're male or female. I really wonder. It's just not important to me. Like I say, when I look at a guy, that's not what I think of. Like when you're younger, you know, and you see somebody that you're attracted to, and you're like, oh God, I'd like to be with that guy, or I'd like to be with that girl. How many of you are so over that and past that in your life? I don't know, guys, and with the you know, the knowledge that you can just be used, that's another thing. That's another thing that makes me very hesitant to get involved with a man again. I don't want to get used. I wouldn't want some man thinking he could just use me and then, oh, I'm tired of her, on to the next. I don't want that. I don't want that in my head, that I just got used. Yeah. With like so many girls and women, they'll go for casual sex like that. They'll go on a first date and have sex with somebody. And I'm like, no. That's in my book, that's just the wrong way to go about it. You younger girls, if you're younger, or younger women, how many times have you heard, oh, I thought he loved me, I thought he cared about me, it was so wonderful, blah, 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 the sex was great, blah, blah, blah. And then he's gone. And you invested your heart and your emotions into this guy, and you sleep with him right away. Right away. It's like, oh yeah, he's so hot. Oh well, I want to keep him, so I'm going to give him sex. Well, that does not keep a man. They can just go to the next one just like that, with no remorse. I mean, we all know that. Come on, ladies. And you men, you got to admit, men are, you know, they're always wanting that, always wanting that. I'm sure there are women out there too that are like that. I'm not going to say there's no women who just want sex, sex, sex. No, I'm not going to say that. But it's well known that men are more whatever when it comes to that. More aggressive when it comes to that. So yeah, I'm content, guys. I am content to never have that again in my life. There's just a lot about sex that, aside from the instant pleasure that it gives you, there's a lot about it that, yeah, no thanks. No thanks. I won't go into detail, but I think you know what I'm talking about. It's like, yeah, no thanks. No desire for that. No desire for all the stuff that goes into having sex. No thanks. No. But yeah, I just wanted to bring it up because that's not something that a lot of people will talk about. It's not something that a lot of women will admit to, especially if they're married or living with somebody. Like I say, there are the jokes out there of the man wanting sex and the woman's like, oh God, not tonight, I have a headache. You know, that's been the oldest joke in the world. And I can imagine how many women are out there. They're doing it just because the man wants it and they don't want it. But they're like, oh, well, I got to give it to him. No thanks. No desire. No desire to do that ever again in my life. I'd be happy with just a wonderful companion. Just a wonderful companion to snuggle up with. Yeah, a little kiss here and there, that type of thing, but anything beyond that at this point in my life, no thanks. Not looking for that. So yeah, tell me what you think about sex and having sex in general. Casual sex where you're just dating somebody, first date, you're doing it. And then women wonder, well, God, I can't believe you just dumped me. Well, yeah, he used you for what he needed and he's gone. You need to, you know, if you're going to get involved sexually with a man, it's a good idea to make sure you have an actual relationship, unless you're a woman who just wants to do it with nothing attached. Well, then okay. But if you're a woman who's looking for a man to actually share your life with, maybe get married or move in together, yeah, I'd want to find out for sure. Are you really into me or are you just really into using me? Yeah. Anyway, guys, that was the subject today. Tell me your feelings about how you feel about sex in general, how you feel about, you know, this business of just having sex like that, first date, and, you know, just giving it out there. Yeah, tell me your feelings about it, guys. I know where I stand right now. I am very content without it. Thank you, but no thank you. Anyway, take care, guys, and I will see you later. Good old cup of coffee. Bye-bye, guys. Move, baby.